Welcome back to the deep dive. Okay, I have to start today by asking you to just look at the calendar for a second. It is January 17th, 2026.
The 17th.
Yeah.
That is a very, very specific and frankly kind of a dangerous date in the calendar year.
It really is. I feel like we need a moment of silence for all the resolutions that have already died. Because if you look at the data on New Year's resolutions, we are officially in the danger zone. That whole New Year, New Me energy, it's gone.
It has evaporated.
Completely. My gym, which was an absolute zoo 2 weeks ago, is suddenly, very pleasant to be in again.
Which is great for your workout, but probably a little bit sad for humanity's collective optimism. Correct?
Exactly. That shiny, bright-eyed optimism from January 1st is just colliding hard with reality. I think I've already broken like 3 of my resolutions, and we're not even at February.
You are right on schedule, actually. This is the time. This is when the expectation of this radical life transformation meets the reality of just being tired and having to go to work and, falling back into the same old habits.
Right.
In the industry, they actually have a name for it. They call this little window Quitter's Day.
Quitter's Day. Ouch. Okay, that feels a little personal.
It's not personal, it's just behavioral science.
Yeah.
The problem isn't that people are inherently lazy or anything like that.
No.
It's that the expectations are just completely out of whack with the reality of being a human being.
Which makes this the absolute perfect time to have this conversation.
Right.
We are not here to beat anyone up for quitting.
No, not at all.
We are here to pivot. We're going to do a deep dive into this really interesting piece from Good Housekeeping. It was updated just recently for 2026, and it's titled 65 Achievable New Year's Resolutions You'll Actually Keep.
And that key word there, the one that matters more than anything else, is achievable.
Right. Now, we are not going to go through all 65 because that would take all day, and frankly, I have a croissant I want to eat later, which probably breaks resolution number 4.
Probably. Yeah.
But we've curated what we think are the top 20 most high-impact, low-effort changes. So the mission today is to move away from those lofty, impossible dreams that, just make us feel like failures and move toward what the source calls SMART goals.
I love that approach. I really do. Because when you look at the psychology of why resolutions fail, it is almost always because of scope. We try to overhaul our entire lives at once. We want to change our sleep, our diet, our career, our whole personality by, January 5th.
And the second we miss one day at the gym or we eat one cookie, we just scrap the whole thing and say, well, maybe 2027 is my year.
Precisely. The real insight here is that success comes from making goals that are both aspirational and attainable. You want to trigger what behavioral psychologists call bursts of accomplishment.
Bursts of accomplishment. I like that.
Yeah, you need to break things down into these little milestones so you actually feel good about yourself rather than just setting up this giant mountain that you can never climb.
Okay, so instead of just reading a list, I want to structure this a little differently today. I want us to walk through a hypothetical day in the life of the new 2026 version of ourselves.
Okay.
We're going to wake up, we're going to go to work, eat, sleep, and just plug these achievable resolutions in where they actually fit.
That's a great way to visualize it. Context is everything when it comes to building habits.
It really is. So let's start with the alarm clock. It goes off, you wake up. The very first resolution on our list is one that I honestly struggle with because I'm groggy and I just want coffee. Resolution number 13, make the bed every morning.
The classic advice. I can just hear eyes rolling all over the world right now.
Including my own. I mean, is this really a deep dive insight? Make your bed. It feels like something my mother would yell at me, not, a revolutionary life hack.
I know, it sounds so trivial, I grant you that. But the source really insists on it, and the psychological literature actually backs this up. It's what we call a keystone habit.
Okay, define that for us. What's a keystone habit?
A keystone habit is a small, seemingly minor change that creates this positive ripple effect throughout your entire day.
Right.
So when you make your bed, you're kickstarting a productive morning routine. Before you've even left the house, before you've checked a single stressful email or doom-scrolled the news, you have accomplished something tangible. You've created order out of chaos.
So it's about that little dopamine hit of task complete, check.
Exactly. And it also sets the tone for when you return home. Just think about walking back into your bedroom after a long, hard day where maybe you did fail at some other things. If the bed is made, the room looks inviting. It looks like a sanctuary. If it's a mess, it just looks like another chore you ignored. Making the bed is essentially an act of kindness to your future self.
To the tired version of me who's going to walk in 12 hours later.
That's the one.
Okay, I could buy that. Be nice to future me.
So I've made the bed. Now I'm stumbling my way to the kitchen. And normally I reach for the coffee pot. But resolution number 14 says, drink more water, specifically if you are sleep deprived. This is one of the most interesting biological connections in the entire source material, and most people have absolutely no idea it exists. We all know we should drink more water, but the source explains why you feel so biologically wrecked and dehydrated after a bad night's sleep.
I always just assumed I was thirsty because, I don't know, I was breathing through my mouth or something.
I mean, it can play a part, sure, but the real driver here is hormonal. There's a specific hormone called vasopressin.
Vasopressin. Okay, let's unpack that. What does that do?
Its main job is to regulate water conservation in your body. It basically tells your kidneys to hold on to water rather than just flushing it all out. But here's the kicker.
Okay.
Vasopressin is released on a very specific circadian rhythm, and it primarily comes out during the late stages of your sleep cycle.
Wait. So if I cut my sleep short.
If you sleep less than 6 hours, or even if your sleep is just fragmented and you don't get that deep late-stage sleep,
Yeah.
completely miss the window. Your body literally doesn't get the chemical signal to retain water. So you wake up in a state of biological dehydration, no matter how much water you drank the day before.
That is wild. So that hangover feeling you get from just being tired it's actually literal dehydration caused by a missing hormone spike.
Exactly right. So the resolution isn't just some generic drink more water, it's a targeted intervention. If you had a bad night, you have to aggressively overhydrate the next morning to compensate for the vasopressin you missed out on.
You're manually doing what your body failed to do automatically.
That's a perfect way to put it.
That makes me want to chug a gallon of water right now.
Okay.
Okay, so we're hydrated. Now we need to wake up fully. And this brings us to the trend that just refuses to die. Resolution number 6, the cold plunge. Or, cold showers for the rest of us.
Yes. You can't go on social media without seeing some tech CEO sitting in a giant freezer chest in his backyard.
It's so annoying. I'll be honest, it is so annoying. Do we really have to do this? Is there actual science here, or is this just like trendy masochism?
There is actual science, and it's getting stronger every year.
Yeah.
The source points to a 2025 review from the University of South Australia. So this is fresh data.
Okay.
And they found it really does assist with inflammation, with stress regulation, community, and even the quality of your sleep later that night.
What's the mechanism, though? Like, why does freezing myself help my stress? That feels counterintuitive.
It's a concept called hormetic stress. Basically, a short, controlled burst of acute stress like ice water shocks your system.
Right.
It forces your body to activate all its survival mechanisms. You dump adrenaline, you get a rush of dopamine, your blood vessels constrict. But then, when you get out of the cold, your body has to work to warm back up. And that rebound effect calms your nervous system down to a baseline that is actually lower than where you started.
So you're stressing yourself out on purpose so that regular life feels easier by comparison.
In a way, yes. It kind of raises your threshold for what your brain registers as stressful.
Yeah.
The little things don't bother you as much.
But, and this is the achievable part, I don't have a cold plunge tub. I live in an apartment. I barely have a bathtub.
And that's the good news. You do not need the $5,000 tub. The elite version is just as valid for a resolution. Just end your normal hot shower with a burst of ice-cold water. 30 seconds.
30 seconds sounds so short until you're actually in there. It feels like an eternity.
It does. You will gasp. You will hate your life for a moment. But that initial panic, that is your nervous system resetting itself. If you can just breathe through that 30 seconds, you step out of the shower with a level of mental clarity and alertness that coffee simply cannot give you.
Embrace the suck, as they say.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm awake, I'm frozen, I'm hydrated, now I have to get dressed. This brings us to resolution number 10. Treat yourself to exercise gear you actually love.
Well, this one sounds like pure consumerism, I know. Just buy more stuff to feel better.
Right.
But there's a fascinating psychological concept at play here called enclothed cognition.
Enclothed cognition. Okay, that sounds very fancy. Break that down for me.
It comes from the work of Hajo Adam, a PhD at Rice University. And the basic idea is that what we wear doesn't just affect how other people see us. It profoundly affects how we process information and how we view our own capabilities.
So you're saying if I wear my baggy old sweatpants with holes in them, I will perform differently than if I wear like high-performance compression gear.
Yes, absolutely. Think of it like a costume. When an actor puts on a police uniform, they're posture changes, their voice might change, they inhabit the role.
Mm.
When you put on the high-rise fit leggings or the proper running shoes, you are physically signaling to your brain, okay, playtime is over. We are in athlete mode now.
It's like Clark Kent putting on the cape.
It's exactly like that. The clothes carry symbolic meaning. So if you associate that specific gear with fitness and strength, just putting it on removes a huge mental barrier. It makes the workout feel inevitable rather than, optional.
So spending the money on the nice leggings is actually a mental hack to get myself to the gym. I can get behind that.
If it gets you out the door, it is worth the investment.
Okay, we are dressed, we're ready to face the day. But before we actually leave the house, we have to look at our environment. Section 1 of our outline was all about these environment hacks. And resolution number 1 is buy yourself flowers.
And right along with that, resolution number 8, buy a plant.
Okay, again, I have to play the skeptic here. Flowers die, they're expensive. In January, they are really expensive. Is this just about decoration?
It feels like decoration, I get that, but the source argues it's a mental health strategy. There's a study cited here that indicates that almost everyone associates fresh flowers with positive feelings, specifically feeling relaxed, happy, and appreciated.
Appreciated is the weird word in there, right? Because usually we're waiting for someone else to buy us flowers to feel appreciated.
That is the trap. We outsource our own validation to other people. By buying them for yourself, you are essentially hacking that reward loop. You're signaling to your own brain that you are worth the investment. A weekly bouquet, sure, it costs money, but it's functioning as a mood intervention.
I guess it's cheaper than therapy. But if the flowers feel too fleeting, the plant seems like the stronger play here, doesn't it?
The plant goes even deeper than just mood. This is about stress physiology. The research shows that the mere presence of indoor plants can lower stress levels. But the real magic is in the interaction.
You mean like watering it?
Watering it, pruning it, checking the leaves for new growth. Actively caring for a living thing calms the autonomic nervous system. It's been shown to lower blood pressure. It's a moment of mindful analog caretaking in a very digital world.
It's like having a relationship with something.
It is. In a world where you can't control the economy and you can't control your boss, you can control whether that little fern on your windowsill lives or dies. That sense of agency is incredibly powerful.
That's a good point.
Plus, the source mentions a workplace bonus. Just working your plants improves concentration, job satisfaction, and even perceived air quality.
Okay, so our house is now full of life. Now we're at work, we're sitting at our desk, and this is where we usually fall apart. Resolution number 11. Quit multitasking.
The great myth of the modern age. We all think we're good at it, and almost none of us are.
I feel so attacked right now. I currently have, I'm not kidding, 40 tabs open on my browser. I feel like I have to multitask just to survive, but the source is saying this is what's creating my anxiety.
We quote Pedram Shojai here, he's the author of Focus, and he points out that multitasking doesn't make you efficient, it just fragments your focus. It creates what psychologists call open loops.
Open loops. What does that mean?
Imagine your brain is a computer's RAM. Every time you switch tasks, you answer an email, then you check Slack, and you write one sentence of a report, then you check the news. You're opening a new program without closing the old one. Your brain has to burn precious energy just keeping track of where you left off in all 10 of those different tasks.
Which is why I feel completely exhausted by 2 p.m., even if I haven't physically moved from my chair.
Exactly. And that constant background hum of, I haven't finished that yet, I still need to do that, generates cortisol. It generates anxiety.
So what's the fix? Because my boss still expects me to do 10 things at once.
The fix is chunking. You dedicate specific time slots. From 9 to 10, this is email time. From 10 to 11, this is report writing time. You commit fully to that slot. And you actually get more done because you aren't losing all that energy on the context switching.
Single tasking. It sounds so luxurious.
It's necessary. It really is.
Okay, let's move to lunch. We need to feed this machine. Section 3 is diet and preventative maintenance. Now, usually this is where you get these stop eating all sugar or go keto resolutions.
Which works for about 3 days, and then you have a breakdown in the bakery aisle.
Exactly. But the source has a totally different vibe. Resolution number 5 is eat citrus fruit every day.
Simple, specific, and delicious. It's a great resolution.
Why citrus, though? Apart from the obvious vitamin C for colds.
Well, the vitamin C is key, but not just for immunity. The source highlights its role in collagen production, which means, less dry skin, fewer wrinkles.
Okay, a vanity metric. I will accept that.
But there's also a growing body of research linking daily citrus consumption to a lower risk of depression.
Really? So an orange day keeps the blues away?
Potentially. It's likely related to the high levels of antioxidants and the inflammation reduction in the brain. The source has some great practical tips too, like pairing clementines with pistachios for a fat and fiber combo, or having grapefruit with yogurt in the morning.
Though we do need a quick sidebar warning from the expert side on grapefruit, right? That's an important one.
Yes, very, very important. If you are on any medication, specifically things like statins for cholesterol or even some anxiety meds, grapefruit is a huge no-go.
Why is that?
It contains compounds that interfere with the enzymes in your liver that metabolize drugs. That means you could end up with way too much or way too little of your medicine in your system. So always check your labels, check with your doctor.
Okay, check with the doctor. Got it. Now let's talk about the villain of the dietary world right now. Resolution number 2. Cut back on UPFs, ultra-processed foods.
And again, note the wording, cut back, not eliminate entirely. That's what makes it achievable.
Right. I feel like processed is just this buzzword people use to shame each other about their food choices. What is the actual definition here? Like, is a bag of baby carrots processed?
I mean, technically, yes. Chopping is a process, cheese is processed, but those are not UPFs. Ultra-processed foods are industrial formulations. They're made with ingredients and additives you would never find in a home kitchen.
Like high fructose corn syrup?
And that's the classic one.
Yeah.
But also things like hydrolyzed proteins, artificial flavors, emulsifiers, color enhancers. We were talking about chips, soda, those prepackaged muffins that somehow stay perfectly soft for 6 months.
The zombie apocalypse food.
Exactly. The source notes they are strongly linked to colorectal cancer and a whole host of other metabolic issues. The resolution here is really about awareness. You don't have to live like a monk, but just look at what you're eating. Ask yourself, is this actual food, or is this an industrial formulation designed to be hyper-palatable?
And just swapping one of those industrial snacks for an apple or those pistachios we mentioned.
That's a huge win. Every little bit helps.
Speaking of food, let's talk about where we eat it. This goes back to the environment. Resolution number 3. Give the kitchen a refresh.
This brings us back to what I like to call the countertop theory.
The source suggests taking just 20 minutes to clear the papers, the mail, the groceries that never got put away. Why does this matter for my diet?
Because visual chaos leads to cortisol spikes. If you walk into a kitchen that's just covered in clutter, your brain registers all of that as unfinished work. You immediately feel stressed.
And when I'm stressed, I don't want to cook a healthy meal. I want to order a pizza.
Exactly. The clutter triggers the stress triggers the craving for comfort food, which are usually UPFs, and the whole cycle just continues. A clear counter helps promote mindful eating. It creates a blank slate for you to make a better choice.
So cleaning your kitchen is actually a diet pill.
In a behavioral sense, yes, it
Yeah.
absolutely is.
Moving on to the afternoon, we have to do some adulting. Resolution number 4. Schedule all your annual health screenings.
This is the one we all procrastinate on. It's annoying, the hold music is terrible, and frankly, nobody wants to do it.
The hack here from the source is just brilliant in its simplicity, though. Do it all in one sitting.
Yes, batching. It's so effective. Just sit down with your calendar app, your insurance card, and a strong cup of coffee, and just book everything. Your wellness visit, your mammogram, colonoscopy, dentist, ophthalmologist. Get it all done.
It's the rip-off-the-Band-Aid method for healthcare.
It totally is. It reduces that anxiety-inducing nuisance factor. If you do it one by one throughout the year, you have to work up the willpower 5 separate times. If you do it all on a Tuesday morning in January, it's done. You've successfully adulted for the entire year. The mental load is just gone.
I love that. Okay, the workday is done. We're transitioning to the evening. And this is often where we tend to beat ourselves up about what we didn't get done during the day. This leads to resolution number 16. Be kinder to yourself.
And this one can sound like a greeting card cliche, can't it? Just love yourself.
It does. But you promised me there was hard physiology here.
There absolutely is.
Yeah.
A study found that actively practicing self-compassion can actually slow your heart rate and reduce sweating.
Whoa, wait. So being mean to yourself is a literal physical stressor.
It keeps you in a state of fight or flight. Think about it.
Hmm.
If you had a boss standing over your shoulder all day screaming, "You're an idiot, you're lazy, you didn't finish that report,"
Yeah.
your body would react with a flood of stress hormones.
That boss is in my own head.
Your body doesn't know the difference. Your nervous system reacts to your internal monologue as if it's a real external threat. So if you're constantly beating yourself up, your body is producing the physical symptoms of chronic stress.
Wow.
Being kind to yourself, just saying, "I did my best today, tomorrow's another day," is a biological safety signal. It allows your nervous system to stand down.
That is so powerful. It's not just being nice, it's actively regulating your own physiology.
Exactly right.
Okay, now let's get out of the house. It's evening time. This is section 5. Social, cultural, and experiential. We need to get away from the screen and see the world. Resolution number 17. Get more steps.
We all know this one. We've heard it a million times.
Yeah.
But the link the source focuses on isn't just weight loss, it's memory.
Is this the dementia risk thing?
Yes, walking increases blood flow to the brain, which is crucial for neurogenesis and preventing cognitive decline. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services recommends moving as much as possible. It is a profoundly neuroprotective habit.
And while you're out walking, where are you going? Resolution number 7 suggests volunteer regularly.
This is so interesting because the source frames it in an almost selfish way.
The selfish benefit of being selfless. I like that.
Volunteers live longer. That's a statistical fact. They're also happier and more engaged with their communities. It connects you to something bigger than yourself.
Right.
Whether it's a soup kitchen, an animal shelter, or teaching coding at a library, it pulls you out of your own navel-gazing. It connects you to a larger narrative.
It provides perspective, right? My bad day at work seems a lot smaller when I'm helping someone else who has real problems.
Precisely.
Or, if volunteering isn't your thing, resolution number 9. Schedule cultural outings, museums, concerts, plays.
And again, this isn't just about entertainment. Research suggests that people who make regular trips to these kinds of attractions have a significantly lower risk of developing depression compared to those who skip them.
Why is that? Is it just about getting out of the house?
That's part of it. But it's a mix of social connection, novelty, and aesthetic awe. You're experiencing something new, something beautiful or thought-provoking. It stimulates your brain in a way that scrolling TikTok on the couch just doesn't.
It breaks the routine, which leads perfectly into resolution number 19, go on adventures without a set destination.
Spontaneity. The whole goal here is about relinquishing control.
That is so scary for a lot of people. I'm one of them. What if we get lost? What if the restaurant we find is bad?
That's the whole point. The act of saying, I don't know where we're going, and that's okay, is a mental exercise in flexibility and resilience. And there's a little bonus challenge attached to this one in the source material.
Oh, yeah?
Give up social media during the trip. Actually be where you are.
If you didn't post it on Instagram, it still happened.
It still happened, I promise.
I don't know if I believe that. Just kidding. Okay, so we're back home. The day is done. It's time to wind down. Resolution number 12. Take a bath before bed.
We are back in the tub again.
We are. But there's a very specific timing here. The source says 1 to 2 hours before bed. Why?
It's all about thermodynamics.
Okay, Mr. Scientist, explain.
When you get out of a hot bath, your body temperature rapidly cools down because the air in your bathroom is cooler than the water was. That sharp drop in your core body temperature is a powerful biological signal to your brain that it is time to produce melatonin and go to sleep.
So you're basically tricking your body into thinking it's dusk.
You're hacking your own circadian rhythm. The study cited shows it helps people fall asleep about 10 minutes earlier on average, and it significantly improves the quality of that sleep.
And to supercharge this, resolution number 15 suggests adding some aromatherapy.
Scent is so powerful because the olfactory bulb, the part of your brain that processes smell, is directly connected to the limbic system, which handles emotion and memory. It completely bypasses the logic centers of your brain.
So it's a direct line to the brain's emotional dashboard.
Correct. The source lists 3 specific scents to try. Vanilla for relaxation and joy, peppermint for energy, so maybe save that one for the morning shower,
Good call.
and lavender, which is the undisputed heavyweight champion of sleep aids.
So the ideal routine is hot bath, lavender scent about 90 minutes before you want to be asleep, cool down, and then get into your nicely made bed.
And then you wake up and you do it all again.
It actually sounds doable.
That is the entire point. None of this required a punishing gym membership. None of this required you to starve yourself.
And finally, we have resolution number 20, which is if you can't change your location or your job or your diet, just change yourself. Try out a new hairdo.
The classic makeover.
It sounds so superficial, right? Get bangs, save your life. But the source insists it can make you feel lighter, both literally and figuratively.
It's a ritual. It's about shedding the old year. We don't have that many rituals left in modern society. A drastic haircut is one of the few we still have. It signals to your brain, okay, something is different now. We are starting fresh.
Sometimes that simple external change is just the spark you need to start making the internal changes.
Absolutely. It gives you a little momentum.
So let's recap our day. We are standing here on January 17th on Quitter's Day.
And we are refusing to quit. We're just going to pivot to something smarter.
We've got our environmental tweaks, making the bed, clearing the kitchen counter, buying that plant.
We've got our biological support, hydrating for the vasopressin, taking that cold shower for the dopamine, taking the hot bath for the sleep signal.
And the psychological shifts. Dressing like a superhero in your gym gear, stopping the multitasking madness, and being kind to your inner critic.
And then actually getting out there, walking more, volunteering, seeing some art, connecting with people.
And I think the most important takeaway for 2026 is that you do not have to do all 20 of these things.
Please, please do not try to do all 20 of these tomorrow. You will burn out by noon.
Pick one area. That's it. Maybe you just focus on the sleep hygiene stuff this month. Or you just commit to clearing your kitchen counter every night before bed.
Success breeds success. If you can master making your bed every day for a week, you might find you have the energy to start walking more. If you start walking, you might feel better and actually want to eat that citrus instead of the bag of chips. It's a cascade effect.
Exactly. You start small to go big.
And before we go, I do want to leave the listener with one final thought that connects back to that enclosed cognition idea we talked about earlier.
Okay, let's hear it.
We talked about how your clothes can dictate your performance, that Clark Kent effect. But just for a second, look around you right now. Look at your desk. Look at the inside of your car. Look at your living room.
Okay, I'm looking at my very messy car. I'm not proud of it.
If what you wear on your body changes how you think and feel, what is your immediate environment silently telling you about who you are? Is that messy car telling you that you're chaotic and out of control? Is your dark, cluttered office telling you that you should be tired and uninspired?
That is a very provocative thought. What in your immediate environment is silently dictating your success or your failure without you even realizing it?
And the follow-up is, can you change it in the next 20 minutes?
I think I need to go clean my car.
I think you do.
Thanks for diving deep with us today. Don't quit, just pivot.
Happy New Year, everyone. And please, keep it achievable.
We'll see you next time.